Hello, my name is Jon Brien, and I represent the 49th District here in the great state of Rhode Island. Today, I want to take you back to the 17th century to explore the founding of Rhode Island, a tiny state with a massive legacy as a beacon of religious freedom and individual liberty. Rhode Island's story is one of defiance, vision, and the pursuit of a society where people could worship and live as they choose, a radical idea in its time. In the early 1600s, the New England colonies were a hotbed of religious and political tension. The Puritans, who dominated Massachusetts Bay Colony, sought to create a city upon a hill, a strict religious society based on their beliefs. But not everyone fit into their rigid mold. Enter Roger Williams, a minister whose ideas would change the course of American history. Williams arrived in Massachusetts in 1631, but he quickly clashed with the Puritan leaders. He believed in the separation of church and state, arguing that the government shouldn't dictate religious beliefs. He also criticized the colony's treatment of Native Americans, insisting that their land should be purchased, not seized. These views were too radical for Massachusetts, and in 1635, Williams was banished, forced to flee into the wilderness during a very harsh winter. Williams didn't see exile as a defeat. It was an opportunity. Guided by his principles and aided by the Narragansett tribe, with whom he had built trust, Williams purchased land in 1636 and founded Providence, the first settlement of what would become Rhode Island. A community where people could worship freely and without fear of persecution. Providence became a haven for those who didn't fit elsewhere: dissenters, Quakers, Baptists, and others seeking refuge from rigid dogma. Williams wasn't alone in shaping Rhode Island. In 1638, Anne Hutchinson, a midwife and religious thinker, challenged the male-dominated clergy by holding Bible study groups where she preached her own interpretations. After her exile, she and her followers settled on Aquidneck Island, founding Portsmouth. Like Williams, Hutchinson valued religious liberty, and her settlement reflected that ethos. Other key figures, like William Coddington and John Clark, also established settlements such as Newport, further solidifying Rhode Island's identity as a place of tolerance. In 1644, Roger Williams secured a charter from England, officially uniting the settlements into the colony of Rhode Island and Providence plantations. The charter was groundbreaking. It explicitly guaranteed religious freedom and allowed the colony to govern itself without a state religion. This was a stark contrast to the other colonies, where dissenters faced imprisonment or worse. Rhode Island became a sanctuary for those persecuted elsewhere, earning its nickname as the Sewer by critics who saw it as a dumping ground for outcasts. But to its residents, it was a place of hope. Rhode Island's founding wasn't just about religion. It set a precedent for self-governance and fairness. Williams' insistence on paying Native Americans for their land showed a respect rare for the time. The colony also experimented with democratic principles, with settlers holding town meetings and to make decisions collectively. These ideas, religious liberty, separation of church and state, and democratic governance, would later influence the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The founding of Rhode Island reminds us that big ideas can come from small places. From its humble beginnings, this colony proved that a society could thrive by embracing diversity and freedom. Roger Williams, Anne Hutchinson, and the others weren't just building a colony, they were laying the groundwork for a nation where individual rights could and would flourish. Today, Rhode Island's legacy lives on as a symbol of tolerance and the courage to stand up for what's right, even when it's unpopular. Our state motto is hope, and hope for a nation can come from even the smallest places. Thank you.